Well, first, let me say I think England has gone back to the Tudor times, not America. You've just gone back 400 years with this government that you've got.
Well, that is the purpose of elections. And at the last election, this government achieved a sizable majority for our missions, including to grow the economy, to improve living standards.
The UK is becoming a police state, declares Elon Musk as he goes to war with the Labour Party. In a stunning turn of events, Chancellor Rachel Reeves resigns on live television, unable to justify her $86,000 salary amid the cost of living crisis. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. As the Labour Party scrambles to maintain its reputation, Musk's words echo through the corridors of power. But what's really behind this clash of titans, and how will it reshape the future of British politics? Elon Musk's scathing critique of Labour policies has sent shockwaves through Westminster, marking a new chapter in the ongoing saga of UK politics. The tech titan's growing influence in British affairs is hard to ignore, as he positions himself as a formidable voice against what he perceives as misguided economic strategies.
But we've had 13 years of Conservative failure, a crashed economy, so we're going to inherit a very difficult programme if we were lucky enough to win the next general election, and therefore we're realistic about what we're able to achieve, but we will change Britain for the better.
Well, you know, I think people are in a state of somewhat shock as to what this new government is doing, you know.
Well, that is the purpose of elections. And at the last election, this government achieved a sizable majority for our missions, including to grow the economy, to improve living standards.
Musk's reasons for speaking out are clear. He believes the UK is sliding towards becoming a police state, a claim that has rattled both politicians and business leaders alike. His bold statement taps into a growing frustration among entrepreneurs and investors who feel stifled by excessive regulation and bureaucracy. But is Musk's assessment fair, or is he overstepping his bounds as a foreign business magnate? The contrast between Musk's vision and Labour's economic plans couldn't be starker. While Labour promises increased public spending and tighter regulations, Musk advocates for a more laissez-faire approach. He's particularly critical of Labour's proposed inheritance tax changes, which have also drawn fire from the National Farmers Union. "We should leave the farmers alone," Musk declared, echoing concerns about food security and the impact on agricultural producers. But Musk isn't the only one voicing concerns. His critiques have sparked a heated debate among tech leaders and economists. Some applaud his willingness to challenge the status quo, seeing him as a champion for business interests. Others worry about the outsized influence of a single individual on public opinion and investor sentiment. Critics argue that Musk's constant barrage against the government could be doing more harm than good, potentially destabilizing an already fragile economic landscape. What could be the long-term consequences of this clash between Musk and Labour? The stakes are high, with investor confidence hanging in the balance. Reports suggest that businesses are already hesitant to invest in the UK under the current administration, a trend that could have far-reaching economic repercussions if left unchecked. Musk's engagement with political figures like Nigel Farage indicates he's not content to be a mere observer. He's positioning himself as a significant player in shaping the UK's political and economic future. His comments are already influencing investor sentiment and political discourse, forcing Labour to defend its policies and credibility on multiple fronts. But as Musk fires his shots from the sidelines, Labour faces an internal crisis that threatens to derail their plan.
And that's not going to happen, not while this government you've got is doing the kind of things that they're doing. I can't see that happening.
And make working people better off. We've just got started, and that is what we are absolutely determined to do, to deliver on the mandate that we got on the 4th of July.
Well, one of the challenges we face, because of the Conservatives crashed the economy and the situation we're going to inherit, is that we won't be able to reverse everything that the Conservatives have done over the last 13 years.
The resignation of Rachel Reeves on live television has exposed deep cracks within the party, leaving them scrambling to maintain unity and public trust. Can Labour weather this storm of criticism from both inside and outside its ranks, or will Musk's broadside prove to be the tipping point in reshaping Britain's political landscape? Rachel Reeves' shock resignation on live TV has sent shockwaves through the Labour Party, exposing deep cracks in its foundation. The Shadow Chancellor's sudden departure, citing financial struggles despite her $86,000 salary, has left many scratching their heads. How could someone in such a high-profile position, earning well above the average wage, claim to be feeling the pinch? It's a contradiction that's hard to ignore and has left Labour scrambling to explain. The public reaction has been swift and merciless. Social media is ablaze with comments ranging from disbelief to outright mockery. Some are questioning Labour's ability to manage the nation's finances if their own shadow chancellor can't balance her personal budget. Others are pointing out the disconnect between Labour's rhetoric on cost of living issues and the reality of their top officials' salaries. It's a PR nightmare that's tarnishing Labour's image faster than you can say economic credibility. But Reeves' resignation is just the latest in a series of blunders that have been chipping away at Labour's reputation. Remember Angela Rayner's deer-in-headlights moment when she couldn't name a single company she'd worked with to boost economic growth. It was painful to watch and did nothing to inspire confidence in Labour's economic plans. These incidents are piling up, and each one is another nail in the coffin of Labour's credibility. The big question on everyone's mind now is, how will this resignation affect Labour's economic plans and election prospects? With Reeves out of the picture, who's going to step up and take the reins? The party is in a mad scramble to find a replacement who can not only handle the economic portfolio, but also restore some semblance of public trust. It's no small task, and the clock is ticking. Behind closed doors, Labour insiders are in panic mode. There's talk of emergency meetings, frantic phone calls, and a desperate search for someone, anyone, who can steady the ship. But with each passing day, the damage to Labour's unity and credibility grows. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash, and nobody seems to know how to hit the brakes. As Labour grapples with this internal chaos, the broader implications for UK politics are coming into sharp focus. Can the party recover from this latest blow, or is this the beginning of the end for Labour's hopes of forming the next government? The political landscape is shifting beneath our feet, and all eyes are on Labour to see if they can pull off a miracle recovery, or if they'll continue to crumble under the weight of their own mistakes. The clash between Elon Musk and the Labour Party has exposed a raw nerve in UK politics, highlighting the growing influence of tech titans on public opinion and policy debates. As the dust settles, both Labour and the broader political establishment find themselves at a crossroads, forced to confront the power of outsider voices in shaping the national conversation. But can Labour bounce back from this double whammy of Musk's scathing critique and Rachel Reeves' embarrassing resignation? Some analysts think they might have a chance if they're willing to adapt. There's talk of a potential shift towards more pro-business policies, particularly when it comes to tax issues affecting farmers and small businesses. It's a delicate balancing act, though. Can Labour appease the business community without alienating their traditional voter base? One respected economist put it bluntly. Musk's critiques are not just noise. They reflect a growing frustration with the current government's inability to foster a conducive environment for investment. If Labour fails to respond effectively, it risks losing the trust of both the public and the business sector. It's a stark warning that Labour can't afford to ignore. The coming weeks will be crucial. Will Labour manage to regain its footing and present a coherent economic vision? Or will Musk's broadside prove to be the catalyst for a seismic shift in the UK's political and economic landscape? One thing's for certain, the old rules of engagement between business and politics are being rewritten before our eyes.